Hi again, everybody. Dave Stevens coming to you from Citizens Bank Park. I'm at the NLCS between the Philadelphia Phillies and the San Diego Padres. You know, I've been in television for over 40 years, and it's October, and it's National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and I'm so excited I get to continue to do the things I do in television, especially for Ability Media. We have a great mini show for you, Ability Media Now. We've got an event that's going on in Connecticut. Carly MacManus is at the Easterseals 5K. It's a great opportunity to see awareness for Achilles and Easterseals together. Let me throw it out to Carly MacManus, who has this wonderful report.
I'm Carly MacManus here from Norwich, Connecticut from the Your Way for Vets 5K, where this is the first time Achilles International Connecticut and Easterseals have partnered together for this very event.
This is a great event here in the community. We go all over Connecticut with community partners such as Easterseals, just to raise awareness of athletes with disabilities in sports. In this case, they're going to be doing the 5K this morning. I think we have a few athletes in the event today who are physically impaired and also visually impaired. We do have a veterans component, the Achilles Freedom Team of Wounded Veterans.
This 5K and this facility here is really important for Eastern Connecticut. It's a place where we can get services for veterans that might have been in Vietnam or Korea, but it's also to help out people that are serving today's military.
Sticking to October's theme, there was even a tabling promoting breast cancer screenings for female veterans.
Nearly half of the veterans served by Easterseals are female. Oftentimes, there are more seemingly immediate, pressing life issues that must be addressed by veterans. So at times, things like breast cancer screening can go to the wayside. However, 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime, and early detection is their best chance for survival.
I'm Carly MacManus here from Ability Media. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks, Carly. What an amazing day that was, and I'm so glad that we could work with both Achilles and Easterseals to be a part of such an amazing event. And speaking of amazing things, I just got back from Arizona, where I had the opportunity to go back to my old high school in Wickenburg, Arizona, where I played high school football. I'm the only guy without legs ever to play high school football in Arizona, and now they have the only coach without arms and legs coaching at Wickenburg, Arizona. I had the opportunity recently to catch up with Carter Crossland and tell his amazing story. Well, it's a small world, and we look like small guys, but we're Wickenburg Wranglers, and it's one of the coolest stories you've probably never heard of. The only guy without legs ever to play high school football in Arizona, and the only coach with no arms and legs in high school in Arizona happens to be at Wickenburg. And Carter Crossland, thanks for taking some time with me. Your story's amazing. Tell everybody out there a little bit about your background.
Sure, yeah. I grew up in Utah. Small town in Utah, and I just been a huge sports fan, huge football fan, wrestling fan. Growing up, I grew up around my grandfather, who was an all-state wrestler, all-state football player. Went to college, played running back in college. So kind of football and wrestling, they're the king back home, and it's kind of in my blood. And I was fortunate enough to have great friends in school and great coaches. I was able to go into the coaches' meetings, as a high schooler, and just fell in love with coaching, fell in love with the game even more, and some things happened, and some ping pong balls bounced my way, and here I am. So.
Well, it's great. And again, Wickenburg's a small little cowboy town in Arizona, and I was able to play 3 sports and escape, and it's your dream, and now you're here in Wickenburg. So what has that been like, that transition to come into a school again with someone who perceived as a disability? How has that acceptance been?
I think it's been good, and honestly, I think I didn't know this at the time, but your story, I think kind of helped, to be honest with you, because do you know Dave Stevens? I met you, half hour ago. Yeah. So I think, I've heard that a lot. I heard your name a lot, and so I think that definitely helped. Just being around the kids, I have 2 cousins on the team, actually, so I get to coach my cousins, which has been awesome. And I knew a lot of these, not a lot, but I knew several of these kids from. I used to live in Chandler for 2 years. I would come up here and visit and hang out with my cousins and be around their friends. So it was it was a pretty easy transition to come in, and I'm good friends with Coach Mac. I knew him outside of working with him from last year. So it's been really good. It's great to be in high school football. I love it here in Arizona. It's nice to be back in Arizona, escape the cold and the snow. But it's really neat. It's been a tremendous experience. I just love getting my knowledge base, increasing my knowledge base and getting more and more experience with calling. I'm a defensive guy. I like calling defenses. Calling the defense at the JV level has been fantastic. It's been a great experience I've got to do the last few weeks, but definitely looking forward to continue to grow as a coach and grow as a person, and excited to be here in Wickenburg. So,
what do you say to the naysayers that, like, my dream was to be in TV and play professional baseball, and Joe Kenrick, was my coach. He's over there. I played for Ralph Moran. It's so surreal, but those were unrealistic dreams to the outside world, saying, oh, you don't have legs and you can't do these things, but I did them.
Right.
And I'm wondering about, like, your dreams now. You're doing this, and those naysayers, it's like this is your normal.
Right. Yeah. I think that's been the biggest thing. This is my normal. I was born without limbs, so I haven't had to go through some of the things amputees have gone through, things like that. So, and again, I go back to my childhood. Just being around who I was around and the great group of friends and kids that I was around. I was always involved in everything, whether it was hanging out in the back of a tied down to the back of a four-wheeler, or rappelling down this cliff in a plastic garden chair, kind of whatever it was. I was around all the kids. So, I grew up obviously in Cowboy Town too, and my grandpa, my paternal grandfather, he was a World War II vet. Just old cowboy. He was out, changing the irrigation water 10 days before he died, kind of a thing. So he just said, Carter, you can feel bad for yourself and just be mad at the world, or you can just play the cards you were dealt and make the best of your situation. And that's what I've chosen to do. So
I'm so glad. It's been great to meet you and follow you before we met, and again, just the irony of the situation, which again, it's not always accepted by the outside world. And
right.
What's been your philosophy? Because every day someone's going to stare at us just because they're judging that book by its cover.
Right. Yeah. You just nailed it. Right. Never judge a book by its cover. I try to do that in everyday life, because I've seen I've had the stares as well, obviously. Everybody, I like to say everybody has their own story. Some struggles are more pronounced, my struggles, our struggles, than others. Everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own internal struggles or external struggles. And we're just all here together trying to do the best we can, and that's the way I look at life. Is we're just out here doing the best we can. If being out here and inspiring some of these kids on the team, or at the high school, or even just in the community, if I'm able to do that just by living my life and being me, then awesome. That's fantastic. So
hey, and if two Hicks from Wickenburg
that's
like
right.
this can succeed in life,
that's right.
We are now half brothers.
That's right.
So that's right.
It's in the book. It's already. It kind of has to be that way, right?
Yeah. So, Coach, as we wrap up,
yeah.
How can they follow you? How can we hear your story? Are you available to speak? Like, we want to build you up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely available. I would love to get my story out there and just kind of spread as much positivity and light as I can. And I'm on Instagram, Coach Carter 9903, and I honestly don't remember my Twitter.
We
honestly don't remember my Twitter handle, but I'll definitely give you my phone number.
Yeah. And we got to
there.
promote this guy. We got to get him out there, get his story out there. It's just been awesome to meet you. I'm excited to see tonight's game.
Yeah.
Obviously, the game takes place tonight. I'm here for homecoming, wearing my purple. I didn't want to wear gold because everyone thought I would have been a homer as a journalist. But brother, God bless you.
You as well.
Best of luck the rest of the way. What do you want to do when you grow up?
If I decide to grow up, that is. Now, my goal. I've said it before. My goal is to definitely be a head coach one day. I definitely want to do that. I want to continue to be around the kids and be around football as long as they'll have me, and as long as they'll as they'll let me, and I just hope to inspire the next group of kids coming up and teaching them this amazing game of football that we love. So
And just be Coach Carter.
that's right, Coach Carter.
And I know with his drive and determination, Coach Carter will be a head coach one day. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this mini edition of Ability Media Now. I'm Dave Stevens coming to you from Citizens Bank Park, again, living the dream. For those of us that have had a disability that try to work in the media, that's what Ability Media is all about. Continue to follow us on all social media platforms. We've got a great newsletter, so go to abilitymediagroup.com. Follow us, join us, let us tell the stories of those with disabilities who live in our world because we live in yours. I'm Dave Stevens. We'll see you next time.